How many of you believe that the cost of living in Malaysia is rising? Show hands, please. Okay, thank you. The struggle is real, isn't it? Whether it's a simple lunch at the campus cafeteria, topping up your petrol, or paying your rent, everything costs more than now than it did a year ago. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muhammad Ashur. I'm a second year student from Faculty of Technology and Information, and today I want to talk about an issue that affects us all, not just adults, not just families, but especially young Malaysians like you and me. We are living in a time where cost of living is rising faster than most of us can keep up. Even though some may see just a phase or a personal challenge, I argue that this is a national issue, and if we don't act soon, it will have a long-lasting consequences for all layers of society. So today, I will explore first how basic necessities are becoming too expensive, how stagnant wages making life harder for everyone, and how students are being affected the most, financially, emotionally, economically. So let's start with the first one. The cost of essentials is rising. Let's begin with the most visible problem, the rising prices of daily needs. Food, cooking oil, rice, fuel, electricity. These are luxuries. These are necessities. Price item for this item has skyrocketed, especially in the last 3 years. Many Malaysians now find themselves spending more just to maintain the same lifestyle, or even worse, searching for less. According to Bank Negara Malaysia 2023 report, spending basic on necessities has been increased by 15% in just 3 years, and that's just an average for a family in urban areas. This figure could become even higher, but this problem isn't just affecting the poor, middle-income families who were considered stable now are struggling to make ends meet. Imagine a family with 2 working parents but still unable to save money at the end of the month. What does that say about the health of our economy? When essentials become unaffordable, people start cutting corners, eating fewer meals, skipping medical checkups, and even worse, postponing their children's education plans. This is not a financial problem, it's a quality of life crisis. Second, stagnant wages make it worse. Now let's talk about income. You think the price go up, salaries will increase too, right? Unfortunately, that's not the case. But stagnation is one of the biggest reasons Malaysians are feeling poor, even they are working full-time. A 2022 article from the Edge Market showed that Malaysia's real wage growth is nearly flat, while the inflation continues to rise. This means that if you're earning the same salary as last year, you are effectively earning less. Let's think about this from a young worker's perspective. You graduate, get a job, and you are excited to become independent. But then you realize you can afford a car, your rent is half of your paycheck, and you constantly choosing between lunch and mobile data. Even professionals with same incomes are now taking on side gigs just to stay afloat. Grab drivers, online sellers, freelance studios. These are not side hustles for fun, they are survival strategies. And what about those who are still searching for work? With rising living costs and low starting salaries, many will feel hopeless about their future. And lastly, students are the most vulnerable. Now let's zoom in one of the most vulnerable groups as students. You are expected to study hard, get good grades, build our future. But now, how do we do that when we are worried about next year? The 2023 report of Ministry of Higher Education surveyed that 4 out of 10 students keep their meals just to save money. It's not just sad, this is dangerous. Nutrition affects brain function. When students are hungry, they cannot concentrate. They don't perform well. Mental health suffers. Dropout rates rises, and let's not forget the pressure to work while studying. Many students now hold part-time jobs, but just to gain experience, but just to cover basic needs. As a result, sleep suffers, grade suffers, health suffers. We must ask also, how can we expect the next generation to thrive in these conditions? Malaysia risks losing its future talent, not because they are not motivated, but because they are economically exhausted. In conclusion, let's recap what we have discussed. First, basic necessities are becoming more expensive and putting a strain on household budgets. Second, stagnant wages are leaving workers and graduates financially stuck. And third, students, the future of our country, are now struggling to survive, let alone succeed. This issue isn't isolated. It affects every generation, every industry, and every household. So, what can we do? I'm calling on the Malaysian government to take immediate action. And here's what needs to happen. First, fair wage policies must be enforced. And here's what needs to happen. Workers deserve salaries that rise with inflation. Subsidies for essentials must be expanded, not removed. Strict price regulation must be implemented to prevent unfair markups. In addition, government should increase support for students and young workers, maybe through food assistance, affordable housing, or part-time job protections. Investing in people isn't a short-term cost, it's a long-term benefit for our country, our stability, and our national growth. So, the cost of living is rising. So can our voices. Let's raise awareness. Let's demand change. Let's act before it's too late. That's all from me. Thank you.